I did want to take you out live, though, to New York as we continue to follow this story here. We do know police are saying several people, including at least one child, are dead in this crash involving a tour bus that was headed to New York City. And right now, we are getting a live update from officials. Let's head over and listen in.
To neurosurgeons, the orthopods, all the physicians that came down to help out, and the nurses and staff in the trauma base.
So now,
of injuries, excuse me, what kind of injuries are you?
You know, with blunt trauma, any type of injury can be seen.
That feed does appear to be glitching. I do have another feed I wanted us to try here.
To the ICUs and to the ORs.
At the scene, this tour bus came from Niagara Falls. I'm not sure which Niagara Falls, but it came from Niagara Falls to New York City, and we were told it was loaded with people that were from the Philippines, from the Far East, from India. There was a language barrier. I would imagine some of those folks are here, and could you talk a little bit about how you're dealing with it? Is it become an issue for you, and how did you deal with that?
Many of the patients were bilingual, so they were able to provide some history in English. And then we also actually utilized all of our translation services through the entire hospital. We had brought down, so we had over 15 or 20 translation devices, actually more translation devices than patients arriving available.
Sure. I know you train for this all the time. Have you ever had a mass casualty incident with this many patients at once?
It's been a long time.
Yeah, I can remember
any others that
one without maybe not this many patients.
Okay.
You know, but on a microscopic scale, we do this every day, right? So any patient that comes in here from a car wreck or a gunshot or a fall, they're evaluated in the same way. So you're just multiplying that. And we use force multipliers by bringing all the assets we have in the hospital. So we bring all the residents down on the surgery that are in the hospital that may be on other services. All the orthopedic physicians and their residents came down. So you just magnify and multiply what you have in the hospital and do the things that we do every day, just on a larger scale.
The question was, have you ever had an incident with this many of them?
I've been here 25 years, and I've been here 25 years. This is, and as Peter had mentioned, I'm also a member of the Department of Emergency Medicine. This is probably the most trauma patients we've had from one incident in my career here in Buffalo.
Over 25 years.
Over 25
years. Can you talk about the doctors that went out in the field to the scene?
So we have, or you go ahead and handle it.
No, I can.
It's from our department.
So UB Emergency Medicine, we cover multiple different sites, including ECMC, but we're fortunate to have an EMS division, and that group works directly with our EMS staff, and they actually deployed themselves right onto the scene. So I believe we had 6 physicians from our group there helping with the triage of patients. So they're able to go directly to the bus, actually help the EMS crews decide how serious the patient's injuries are. Other hospitals did receive patients with lesser injuries than ECMC, but all the critical patients, they were able to identify in scene, identify who would need mercy flight, and then be transferred here. So that was a huge asset, having so many trained staff on scene who have done these mass casualty drills or have been part of them, not only in New York or other states.
If you know, how many mercy flight landings were here today?
I believe we had 4.
4, yeah.
Just to clarify the numbers real quick, 24 patients came into ECMC. 2 of them went to the operating room, the 2 others to trauma ICU. That's right?
I believe that's right.
And the remainder are being evaluated.
Yeah,
so.
we still have 20 that are currently in our department receiving active care.
Do you know the breakdown? Because I've heard that, some of course went to Strong as well, and like you said, there were other hospitals involved. So do you know the breakdown as far as how many, like the percentages?
I can't speak to the other hospitals. I know we did receive the majority of the patients from what I'm hearing from the physicians on the scene. Yeah.
Were there any fatalities? If so, how many?
I will probably direct that back to the staff on the scene, but we were told that there were several fatalities on the scene.
I think New York State Police may have that information for you from the scene, yes. Anybody else? I know Buffalo News just arrived, so if you want to...
And I think to reiterate, I know this question was asked, but we were able, with the new emergency department, we went from a very small department in the old hospital, but now we have a 53-bed emergency department. We have 4 large trauma bays. We were actually able to clear every room with the help of our medicine colleagues so that if we did receive all 50-plus patients, we would have been ready. We're very fortunate with the new setup of even the ambulance area. We were doing triage outside and making sure patients were assigned to the appropriate areas.
We actually designed this new emergency department for mass casualty incidences. That was one of the primary things we were thinking about when it was designed, so that we could have good ambulance flow and patient drop-off right next to the area where they'd be evaluated for traumas. And so I think today was proof of that concept working.
Yeah, and of all the hospitals in the market anyway, ECMC is the designated mass casualty center for Western New York. And again, as Dr. Cloud said earlier, we are, as I think you all know, the only level 1 adult trauma center for Western New York. Oshai Children's is for pediatric cases, which would be 16 years and younger, but ECMC is for adults. Yeah. Any other questions? Thanks, everybody. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you.
And in the advisory I sent out, there were links to the biographies of all 3 physicians. So.
All right, that was a press conference there as we were hearing from medical staff. As we do continue to follow this breaking news here, I did want to share with you this live look there once again, as we do continue to learn more and more about this story that we brought you just a short time ago here. If you are just tuning in, I did want to read the latest here to you. A tour bus returning to New York City from Niagara Falls with 51 passengers crashed and rolled today on an interstate highway, killing and injuring multiple people. This is all according to police. The bus apparently lost control on I-90 near Pembroke, about 25 miles east of Buffalo. People inside were ejected as the windows shattered. And we do have a statement here from Trooper James O'Callaghan. He's a spokesperson for the New York State Police, adding that children were on board. He says, quote, "At this time, we have multiple fatalities, multiple entrapments, and multiple injuries. Several ambulances and medical helicopters transported people from the crash." And we are also seeing that here still as this live image is coming into our newsroom here, that this is still a very active scene. Now, the bus was traveling eastbound when it went into the median and then ended up in a ditch on the right side of the road. The driver apparently is alive and well. That's according to O'Callaghan. They said that they're working with him, and they say, quote, "We believe we have a good idea of what happened and why the bus lost control." The Mercy Flight Air Medical Transport Service said its 3 helicopters were transporting people from the crash site to area hospitals. Erie County Medical Center, a Buffalo hospital known as ECMC, said it had at least 8 patients as of about 2 to 3 hours ago here around 2:10 p.m. Now, Callaghan also said it's a full-size tour bus, heavy amount of damage. Most people, he said, I'm assuming on the bus did not have a seatbelt on. That is the reason why we have so many ejected people on this bus. As we continue to learn more about this here, we will bring it to you on Live Now from Fox. We also do know that New York Governor Kathy Hochul also shared that she was briefed on this tragic tour bus accident, and her office is working with police and local officials. I also did want to share with you, as we do get in some reaction here, we do have this post from Senator Chuck Schumer, as he is saying here, "I'm closely monitoring the tragic tour bus accident in Western New York. I'm heartbroken for all those we've lost and all those injured, and praying for their families. Thank you to our brave first responders on the scene." We're going to go away here for a break on Live Now from Fox. Much more to come. Don't go anywhere.